Okay, good day everyone. So let us try to process some issues related to grading. Okay, let's go first with the first issue. Should formative assessment be graded? Okay, um, the answer here actually all activities, uh, short quizzes, drills that would be considered as formative assessment. Uh, they are not included in the grades. They should be recorded but not graded. Okay. The type of assessment that we need to be included in our grades is the summative assessment, like the unit test, like the long quiz, or the periodical exams. Those types of assessments that will be included in the grades. Okay, let's go with the issue number two. Should raw scores and rubric scores be added in computing the grades? Directly added. Okay. Okay. This kind of confusing, no? Because raw scores are usually are the number of correct answers in the exams or in the quiz, while rubric scores these are in terms of scales. So these two have different measurements. Okay. So since these two have different measurements, different forms of measurements, they should not be added directly, but instead they should be converted first to the percentage score before you are going to add them. Okay. So if you have okay, so if you have a quiz and a performance task, you cannot directly add them uh, to to compute the grades, but you should transform them into percentage score. Okay. Next, is it necessary to decide and communicate the grade components to the students? Of course, this is yes. Oh, it is necessary. Okay. So as much as possible, the grade components, how the grade is computed, should uh, be clear and communicated, uh, clearly communicated to your students. Basin mo yung sir, pwede ko asa akong grades, basin mo ingon mo nga, pangutan aday mo kagalingan. Okay, no, you should don't do that. No, as much as possible, every students have the right to know how their grades will be computed and how uh, uh, and the breakdown of their grades. Okay. Okay, here some issues here. Should special projects be considered as replacement for some components in grading? Actually, the answer here is no. Ano? Okay, basit sir, project ka na lang ako. Okay, this is uh, unacceptable class, no? Okay, um, the grades must be performance based, no? It's based on the performance depending on the components that was uh, communicated uh, to the students before uh, at the start at the beginning of the class. So maybe you can accept, no, on case to case basis, but it should be related. No, it should be related uh, to what has been to what component he missed, no? Or she missed. So I hope we are clear with that one, no? So if exam ang kulang, so he should take the exam. If project ang kulang, so one, he should really submit the project, or she should submit the project, not do with the special projects. Okay. 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 Next one. Is it acceptable to deduct points for delayed requirements? Actually, it is yes. No. Okay. We should also consider the time. Some authors says it's valid to deduct points for delayed requirements. Okay. Next one. Is it acceptable to fail students because of unpassed requirements? Okay. I guess majority of them said no. Yes. It should be no. Okay. Uh, Again, no. Um, Grades must be based on their performance. So if they lack if they have lacking, so they are unable to perform a task or unable to submit a requirement, so you should allow them to submit. In college, so we usually indicate uh, we should indicate I and C, you know. So we will write I and C for the unpassed requirement. So if you miss some exams, so we will just indicate I and C. But in the public, if you are on dep ed, so the teacher usually the teacher uh, do the follow up, no, do the follow up to the parents, to the students as well. Okay. This is not for kung ano, this is not uh to what's this condone to uh, negative traits, no, like what's this kaning for not passing the requirements. This is for the students to give chance, no, to give chance. Um, Maybe for the unpassed requirements, so there are some sanctions to be given to the students. Maybe uh, sh- she or he will uh, be given less points deducted. No? Uh, there are some deductions to his requirement. Okay, but not totally zero. No? Is it acceptable to adjust grades? Okay, the answer here is yes. So it is valid to adjust some grades because um, the one who compute the grades is kaning only human, no? There's sometimes there are some errors, no, some errors. It may be error for the computing, or it may be error to the sampling, no. Let's say for example, no, in the exams there are some topics that were n- not discussed, so it should be not included in the exam. So that is why sometimes we adjust the perfect score. Uh, we adjust the perfect score to a lower score. Now instead of 60, we try to make it 55. Um, and also there are some errors. Let's say for example, there are some errors in P1 that we need to one address. So we will just adjust it in the periodical too. No? Or if we are going to adjust points, like you're going to add, no, just take note, no, if we are going to add or deduct points, So if you are going to add points to one student, so you should also add to the rest of them, not only to the single person. Okay? Okay, can we assign 0 mark to a misassessment? Okay, so I guess the answer here it's no. Okay, same answer to this item. Is it acceptable to fail students because of unpassed requirement? So we really have to give them chance to take the assessment. No? Okay, so let's proceed with this one next. Is it acceptable to give additional points for joining school activities that are not related to the subject? They say if you join the fun run, I will give you extra points. Okay, the answer here it's really no. Okay, now again, grade should be based on the performance that is explicitly defined on the subject matter or on the grade components, not to the extracurricular activities. I hope all these things are clear to you. So